Liverpool might win it all again this season. We're going to take a deep dive into Liverpool's transfer window. You know, they bought a bunch of new ballers. Frimpong, Bertz, Ekitike, Isak, Kirkez. Just after they won the Premier League last season, they only lost 2 games all season. They go spend another 500 million and they're about to go run it back. If only my club, Manchester United, could have the same ambition and, you know, become a big club like Liverpool. But straight into it.
This past summer, Liverpool have been going crazy in the transfer market, signing great to superstar level players for absurd amounts of money. Something I haven't seen from Liverpool like ever. But not only that, in the first few games of the season, Liverpool have been cooking and have been getting wins when it seemed like there was no chance that we were. And due to both...
Bro, like, look at that, bro. Look at the players they bought, bro. Those are all ballers, bro. Isak, the big dog, bro. Isak, you know, Newcastle scored 20 goals last season, scored 20 goals the season before. Joins his Liverpool team, you know, a crazy big step up, you know, a big step up compared to having Darwin Núñez. And then they also, you know, the backup, Hugo Ekitike, bro. He's already played a couple games, he scored a couple goals, you know, he's silky with it, he got the nice touch, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's a good player, bro. He's nice, bro. He's only going to get better as well. And then, you know, they got the German wonder kid, the German baller, Flo Bertz. You know, he speaks for himself, bro. He's wearing that number 7. You know what I'm saying? He's still getting used to the team and stuff, but he fits Liverpool perfectly. And then they got, bro, Frimpong, though. That's low-key my favorite signing that they got because, bro, when you look at Frimpong play, he can play literally winger, bro. Sometimes for the Netherlands, he just plays right wing. He starts right wing and he plays right wing, bro. Imagine Liverpool, they have Salah. Already have Salah on the right wing, and now they have you know, Frimpong playing right back. And Frimpong's pace, bro, is next level, bro. Like, that flank, if they can get the chemistry right, bro, you know, eventually, you know, it's going to all start to fit nicely. You know, he's injured right now. But Frimpong, he's a cheat code, bro. No cap. And then Kirkez on the other side, you know, very, you know, established left back in the Premier League. You know, a bunch of clubs wanted him last summer. You know, goes to Liverpool. You know, solid move. Can't complain.
The signings and the positive results, I can't help but shake the feeling that Liverpool might actually have a chance at winning everything this season. So what are the more detailed reasons on why I feel so confident about this Liverpool side? Well, let's take a look. Now, it's important to start this preview off by going to the beginning of the summer break, where it felt pretty clear that Liverpool needed to dive into the transfer market, with the captain Virgil van Dijk even coming out and saying that it's going to be a big summer. And the reason why Van Dijk and the fans felt like there were big changes coming to Liverpool was because the squad needed massive re-strengthening. Yes, we did come away as the Premier League champions, but there were flaws in this team that everybody could see. For starters, we desperately needed new fullbacks, with Trent Alexander-Arnold leaving to Real Madrid on basically a free transfer, with him...
Yeah, how do y'all feel about that, Liverpool fans? Trent leaving to go to Real Madrid on a free ski? You know, I had this one buddy, bro, he's a Liverpool fan, and, you know, he's low-key pissed about that, bro. He's like, there's no way Trent just got up and left, bro. You know, like, why would Trent leave to go to Real Madrid? You know, Liverpool's the best club. You know, we already won the Premier League. They can win it again. They can easily compete for Champions League. But at the end of the day, bro, it's Real Madrid. You know what I'm saying? Real Madrid's bigger than Liverpool.
Desperate for a new experience, and probably to play with Jude Bellingham, let's keep it real, and Andy Robertson simply not being at the highest levels anymore. Then with Kelleher departing to Brentford, and Alisson only getting older and still kind of being injury prone, we would also need a new goalkeeper, possibly some new center back options as well, with Gerald Kwanzaa dipping to Bayer Leverkusen for around 40 million euros, and Ibrahima Konate's situation still being up in the air, with Real Madrid and PSG having a link with them on a free transfer next summer. And the entire attack needed massive revamping apart from Mohamed Salah, because it was clear that we relied on him heavily for goals and assists in our Premier League winning season last campaign.
Bro, Salah was a beast last season. Liverpool fans gotta remember that, bro. Salah had 20 goals and 20 assists last season, bro. That's absolutely insane, bro. Those are Ballon d'Or level stats.
With Luis Diaz always being a purple patch warrior and only performing when the sun is shining, and also the fact that he dipped to Bayern Munich for a significant fee, and Darwin Núñez's footballing IQ being on the same level as a zebra, and also the fact that he got sold to Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia as well. Mo Salah, please don't come after me, bro. I'm just joking, I promise. Oh, and also Cody Gakpo having some injury issues that affected our form last season, Harvey Elliott leaving to Aston Villa on deadline day, because they desperately needed to back Arne Slot this summer. After all, he literally won the league with no signings. Yeah, Federico Chiesa does not count, bro. He barely played for us. So this summer with Arne Slot about proving himself, we needed to cause some damage in the transfer market, and we did. Regarding the future goalkeeping situation, that was already pretty much solved last summer, with us signing the Georgian goalkeeper from Valencia, Georgian Mamardashvili, last summer for an initial fee of 30 million euros. But he was just back out on loan at Valencia for the entirety of the 24-25 season, so this year he'll definitely feel like a new signing for us. And trust me, it hasn't happened yet, but he'll probably get plenty of game time, because Alisson always has a lengthy injury every season, it seems like nowadays. So yeah, Mamardashvili will get game time and eventually become the future number 1 in a few years' time. So that was great business from Liverpool.
Bro, I've never heard about that goalkeeper a day in my life. Like, will he even play for Liverpool? Probably not.
Part. But now it was time that we needed to make some new signings in the summer of 2025, and the fullback position was probably the next urgent issue that we needed to resolve. The fullbacks we had at the club needed upgrading. As I already said, Robbo is getting older and slower, and Simicas dipped out on loan to Roma because I don't think he was ever good enough to become the starter at this club, respectfully. And while Connor Bradley is definitely the future right back, we still definitely need a depth piece from the outside or someone to potentially challenge him for that spot. And that's when Hughes and Edwards got to work, and they found a solution. So first, we solved the right back situation with Jeremy Frimpong, the former Bayer Leverkusen and a Dutch right back, thanks to him having a 35 million euro release clause, making it a pretty straightforward deal to get done. Not only that, Jeremy Frimpong's transfer to Liverpool doesn't occupy an international player slot due to his status as a homegrown player under UEFA regulations. With his
Jeremy Frimpong, bro, the best signing ever, bro. And also, Manchester United should have bought this guy, bro. Especially since of the new formation we played, bro. Amram would have greatly needed Frimpong, bro. Frimpong would have been perfect for us, bro. Because right now, we have Ahmad playing right wing back. It's not really his forte. Ahmad's more a number 10, more of a winger, but more of an attacking player. Frimpong, he can do it all, bro. He literally plays right wing sometimes for the Netherlands, and maybe he's not the best defender, bro, but he's fast, bro. He's dynamic, and he creates chances, he scores goals, and he assists goals, bro. And that's why, bro, we should have got him at United. And bro, he only went to Liverpool, I swear, for under 30 million, bro. Like, it wasn't even an expensive signing at all, bro. We definitely sold the bet with that one.
Spending some time in Manchester City's academy, and that's a huge benefit for Liverpool because that means they can sign more players from abroad. Not only that, Jeremy Frimpong is a boyhood Liverpool.
It was only 35 million. That's pretty cheap, bro. Especially 35 million euros, bro. That's like 30 million pounds. So we easily could have got that.
Fan. He said that he wanted to join the Liverpool Academy, but it would have been too hard for his parents to drive him there, so he had to choose Man City. And his dad used to watch LFC TV on the television, supporting Liverpool as well. So for us to sign a fullback who has top quality while also already loving the club beforehand is a huge plus. Yes, I do understand that there are some concerns, like regarding whether Frimpong is an actual right back or not, since he did play in a back five under Xabi Alonso at Bayer Leverkusen, where he was more of a winger/wingback than an actual fullback.
See, bro, this is what I'm talking about, bro. This is literally the formation Amram plays, bro. A 3-4-2-1. The formation Amram plays, bro. Frimpong would have fit perfectly in that right wing back spot for Amram and Manchester United. And we didn't buy anybody for that position, bro.
But Arne Slot's a genius. I trust that beautiful ball man that he knows what he's doing. Plus, Frimpong's fast as hell, meaning his recovery speed will help us out if he ever gets caught up the pitch. Something that Trent lacked actually. He did end up getting injured towards the start of the season though, but I'm sure he'll be an important piece for us when he gets back to full fitness. Anyways, with us finding a right back, we now need a left back. And the obvious and only real choice was what looks like a prime Robbo regen, Milos Kerkez, the Hungarian left back who balled out last season for Bournemouth. He was an absolute stud and showed how good he can be for years to come. And it made perfect sense why Liverpool were desperate to sign him. And what made this deal pretty straightforward as well was that Kerkez himself was desperate to join Liverpool. He kept showing signs on social media that he only wanted to join Liverpool, and that's the only club he'd leave Bournemouth.
Bro, Kerkez looks kind of funky, bro. Does he not, bro? I swear I seen a photo of him, bro, and he had his haircut right, no fade at all, just a straight hard line mohawk, bro. Absolutely insane.
For this summer, and that made me a happy man. It's been a while since we've seen players prioritize and move to Liverpool. After that Moises Caicedo and Romeo Lavia summer, I've legitimately been traumatized, bro. But this summer, I've gained my joy back. We really do have some insane motion. That's Liverpool Football Club, baby. We got hella aura. Anyways, with Milos Kerkez only wanting Liverpool, the deal got done for around 46.7 million euros, and we got our new left back and right back for years to come. Brilliant, brilliant business. But this was only the start for what's to come, because the attack still needed a massive revamping. And that's where one of the best players in the world already, in my opinion, from the last couple of years, and possibly the best German talent that was available, Florian Wirtz, comes into the picture. And he was definitely a dream transfer target for Liverpool. And his player attributes should transform Liverpool into a completely different beast in theory. You see, Florian Wirtz was a creative magician at the center of the pitch for Leverkusen, and he made things happen. Hence why he was labeled as as a top player in the world of football. And with Arne Slot needing another way to break down low blocks, which is what a lot of football teams did against us, he saw Florian Wirtz as somebody who was capable of that at the middle of the pitch. However, throughout the later stages of last season, it seemed like Florian Wirtz was destined to join Bayern Munich. I mean, that is where all the top Bundesliga talents go to, just so they can win numerous Bundesliga titles with the biggest club in the country. But you see, Bayern Munich essentially fumbled Florian Wirtz.
Bro, Liverpool really coughed up 116 million for Wirtz, bro. That's a bargain, I'm not gonna lie, bro. That's a great signing for Liverpool. I didn't think Liverpool had that much money, bro, to really spend on players. But, you know, you're going to see in the video, bro, they spent a lot of money this summer. But they're smart, bro, because they sold a lot of players, too. Don't get it twisted. So they actually made, you know, decent profit, they actually had, decent profit margins this summer. That's what a good club does, bro. They buy good and they sell good.
They basically made Wirtz feel uncomfortable and exposed the way they publicly spoke about it, and he felt underwhelmed when he spoke to the manager of Vincent Kompany, who had no clear tactical plan being shown to him during their meeting. Unlike Arne Slot, who left a strong...
Yeah, bro, I'm glad Wirtz, did something different, bro. You didn't just, leave Leverkusen just to join Bayern Munich, bro, because that's literally what most of the German players do. Most of the good, Bundesliga players, they just leave their club, they have a good season, then Bayern Munich just buys them, and that's why Bayern Munich have won, 15 straight Bundesliga titles, minus the one against Leverkusen. But before that, bro, they won 15 straight in a row.
Impression with Wirtz, and it does seem like Slot played a huge role in securing Florian Wirtz. So with all that, Wirtz decided to do the unlikely and join Liverpool instead of Bayern Munich as a German footballer, but for a Premier League record fee of 125 million euros, with around 11.3 million in unachievable add-ons, which would bring the total deal to 136.3 million euros. This is a huge amount of money that Liverpool spent on Florian Wirtz, but Wirtz was an upcoming superstar and could genuinely transform how Liverpool plays, no matter what his position is on the pitch, regardless of his slow start to the season. It's tough to adapt to the Premier League, so just give him some time and watch him cook. But regardless, I think it was quite an
That's crazy money, bro. 136 million, bro. I did not think Flo Wirtz is worth that much money, bro. That's crazy, bro. If he's worth that much, bro, then that means, bro, how close was he to the Ballon d'Or contenders at all, bro? Is he even top 10? 130 million, bro. That's fucked.
Necessity to sign someone of Wirtz's quality, which is exactly what we did. But Liverpool were not done with the business, because we still had 2 or 3 transfers left that Liverpool had to make in this generational transfer window for us. And that's because after Wirtz, Liverpool decided to make another huge signing, and it was the 6'3" French striker who played for Eintracht Frankfurt, Hugo Ekitike, who was signed for an enormous amount of around 95 million euros with add-ons included, which is absolutely absurd.
Not even close to done.
Confident in Ekitike's ability, and even though 95 million euros is a lot of money, he showed before that he's an absolute baller.
See, bro, these stats right here, decent, I'm not gonna lie. 30 Bundesliga games, 33 Bundesliga games, he had 15 goals, 8 assists. He had 22 goals all season. He's only 22 years old, 21. Congratulations to him, bro. From Eintracht Frankfurt to $95 million move to Liverpool, baller, bro.
Them scoring 22 goals and getting 12 assists in 48 games. But here's the funny part regarding Ekitike. He wasn't our main target. It was Alexander Isak, who we'll get to later, trust me. But you see, Newcastle decided to go after Hugo Ekitike. But with Newcastle trying to run a 2-striker formation with Ekitike and Isak, we as a Liverpool came in and told Newcastle to give us Isak or we're taking Ekitike. And when Newcastle said that they don't want to let go of Isak, we did exactly what we said, signing Ekitike and even swooping him away from Chelsea and Manchester United, a club that Ekitike grew up supporting, by the way. Initially, it did seem like a risky signing for us to make, with them still being largely unproven and a completely different profile from our strikers in the past. But when Michael Edwards wants a player, I trust him completely. He rarely misses when it comes to signings. And plus, Ekitike has gone off in the beginning of the 25-26 campaign, but we'll talk about that shortly. However, we did need to build some depth in the back. After all, we did lose Kwanzaa and we didn't replace him. And that's where Liverpool pulled off another masterclass signing in my opinion. And this time, it was the young 18-year-old Italian center back from Parma, Giovanni Leone, for around 35 million euros. Who also,
I've never heard about him, bro. Giovanni Leone.
To the national team as well. Now, Liverpool have been desperate to sign a young and upcoming center back for some time now, because in the last couple of years,
yes sir, bro. He's at United, bro. No way Liverpool were gonna get their hands on Lenny Yaro, bro. He was gonna come to Manchester United, or he was gonna go to Real Madrid, bro. We swooped him away from Real Madrid, bro. Come on now, big club, bro. That's motion.
With him easily being able to handle Lukaku in the game against Napoli, and also with him being able to learn from his idol, Virgil van Dijk, it seemed like a no-brainer for Liverpool to sign him, which we did. He has an incredible pass selection. He can play either side of the center back role. He's aggressive on the ground and in the air, with him having a 63% aerial win rate in the Serie A, etc. They only seem like a perfect fit, and I'm eager to see how Slot utilizes him now and in the future. Speaking of the now though, Liverpool still want to sign another center back, somebody with a bit more experience and who can step in right away, just in case Konate gets injured or leaves the next summer. And that's where Mark Gahey came in. And to be fair to us, we had a fee agreed for a long time, and Gahey even wanted to join the Premier League champions as well, with us even getting the here we go from Fabrizio Romano. However, with Crystal Palace failing to sign another center back, with Igor ducking them last minute for West Ham, who the hell is even Igor, by the way? What the hell? Oliver Glasner from Palace threatened to walk away if Palace sold Gahey, so the deal collapsed and we failed to sign Gahey on deadline day. But we can still sign him on a free next summer.
The fact Mark Gahey didn't go to Liverpool, I'm glad, bro. That's too many good players for Liverpool, bro. I'm jealous,
He might be the type of dude to
stay
tell
at
a
Crystal
girl that he'll
Palace,
kill
bro.
himself if she leaves him. That is nasty, nasty work. But the Liverpool transfers does not end here, because remember how I mentioned Alexander Isak and the fact that we'll get to him later? Well, here we are. Let's talk about Alexander Isak. Now, throughout the entire summer, Alexander Isak has made it no secret that he wanted to move to Liverpool, and that Liverpool were interested in signing him, but Newcastle remained to sit on their stance that they're not going to let Isak go unless another top striker comes through the window. And the thing is, Newcastle could not attract another striker to join them for the life of them. They failed to sign the likes of Liam Delap, who chose Chelsea, João Pedro, who also joined Chelsea, Strand Larsen, who had to stay at Wolves, Ekitike, who ended up choosing Liverpool over Newcastle despite them being willing to pay £1 million more to Frankfurt, Benjamin Šeško, who ended up joining
Benjamin Šeško, bro. He even said no to Newcastle, bro. He'd rather come to United, bro. He'd rather come to the mess that we have here, bro, than go join Newcastle. It is what it is, bro. You know, some clubs just have that type of pull.
Manchester United over Newcastle, etc. It seemed like Newcastle weren't going to be able to sign a striker, and despite Alexander Isak coming out on the day of the PFA Awards announcing that he wants to leave Newcastle publicly, it seemed like Newcastle were going to force him to stay. But then a couple of days before the transfer window shut, the most unexpected thing happened. Wout Malde, the Stuttgart striker who's been taking over recently, was very strongly linked to a move to Bayern Munich all summer. However, Bayern and Stuttgart struggled to find terms appropriate for a deal, so in the last couple of days in the window, Newcastle came out of nowhere and made an astronomical offer that Wout Malde and Stuttgart couldn't reject. And they didn't, because Wout Malde ended up becoming a new Newcastle player, and more importantly, a striker for the club.
Who's your favourite German player of all time?
I like what?
Then, with the addition of finally signing YNWA 30 seconds before the transfer window shut, Newcastle got themselves two new attackers, more willing to let Alexander Isak go. So in a transfer that was a poorly kept secret throughout the entire summer, Alexander Isak to Liverpool was done for around 125 to 130 million pounds, a British record transfer fee, with Liverpool breaking it twice in one window. And we signed one of the best strikers in the world, if not a top 3 striker in the world if I do say so myself. Isak to Liverpool is going to change how we move. We're forming an absolute super team like as the Warriors when we signed Kevin Durant. This is how the Live Avengers are moving. I'm actually so glad that this saga has finally come to an end. And just glad that we got Isak now, because this guy is unreal. And although he hasn't played any of the games for Liverpool yet, I'm sure he'll be alongside or in place of Ekitike to ball out for us for the rest of the season. Speaking of the games now though, let's talk about how Liverpool is performing so far and why this club is giving me a ton of hope that we can win some silverware at the end of the season. In fact, in the words of Isak,
I want to win everything. As simple as that.
Yeah, that was too cold, man. God, I'm hyped. Anyways, the first game we played this season was the Community Shield against Crystal Palace. And although we lost on penalties, with Mo Salah even missing a penalty that was crazy, we still had a good and strong offensive performance, with Hugo Ekitike scoring a well-taken goal from a Verts assist to show that he's definitely a top striker in the future. And with Frimpong scoring from an impossible angle at 2020, with Jota probably helping him from up above with that goal. The goal doesn't mean much because we did lose the game, but we did avoid the Community Shield curse. So who's really winning? But now it's time to talk about the first Premier League game where we had to play Bournemouth at Anfield on opening day. And this game was crazy. Although the first half was kind of dead, the game exploded once Hugo Ekitike got a lucky bounce to go his way, which put him in a one-on-one situation in which he calmly slotted the ball in to put the Reds up 1-0 in the 37th minute. And he celebrated, showing respect to Diego Jota. You love to see it. And Cody Gakpo would quickly double the lead in the 49th minute of the second half after dribbling past a couple of Bournemouth defenders. And this put us in a good position to collect all 3 points. However, after Semenyo was unfortunately subjected to racist abuse from a racist man pretending to be a Liverpool fan in a wheelchair, he decided to go off on us and first scored from a cross in the 64th minute and then sprinted with the ball from halfway and scored in the 76th minute to bring the game back level for Bournemouth 2-2. After this goal, it did feel like Liverpool were going to start this Premier League campaign with only 1 point. But then that sexy Italian man who dished Juventus to be a cop-eye, Federico Chiesa, came on the pitch and in the 88th minute scored a half volley sort of thing from inside the box and scored to bring a late lead to the Liverpool in dramatic fashion 3-2. Thank goodness for Chiesa, because he might have just secured our most crucial win of the season, and it was only the first game. And no, Mo Salah inevitably got his opening day.
Bro, Mo Salah always scores on the opening day of the Premier League, bro. I think for the past 5 seasons in a row, bro, he scores on the first game, bro. He's like that, bro. You know, he's excited, bro. You know, that means, bro, through the whole entire preseason, all through the summer, bro, he's just grinding, bro, putting in the work, bro, waiting for the moment, waiting for the first game of the season, bro. He can't wait, bro. It's like Christmas for him, bro. It's like his birthday, bro.
goal in the 90+4th minute with his weak foot to secure us 3 points in a 4-2 victory. And after that match, he teared up hearing Jota's song being sung by the crowd. Damn man, losing Jota still hurts us and the players. May he rest in peace. But the Premier League season goes by fast, and the next game against Newcastle at St. James's Park snuck up on us. And this was going to be a toxic one. At this time, the East Side...
This game, bro, Liverpool versus Newcastle was a classic, bro. It literally was a classic. I remember watching it, bro. It was amazing, bro.
Situation was still boiling, and Newcastle were still pissed at us. One of the owners of someone high up in Newcastle even tweeted out something like, "Get into them." These guys were out for blood, and it seemed like it too, with Anthony Gordon's challenge on Van Dijk that left scrapes on his leg and got him sent off. A very stupid move by Gordon, I'm not gonna lie. But even with that, Liverpool seemed to be on the back foot in this game. But then Ryan Gravenberch came up clutch in the 35th minute, and his long shot gave the Reds an unexpected 1-0 lead in this game. Then, right when the second half started in the 46th minute, Hugo Ekitike would get on the scoreboard once again to make sure Liverpool were up 2-0 away from home at Newcastle. The goal happened so fast that Arne Slot missed it completely. Bro was still in the dressing room combing his hair. But it wouldn't be all sunshine and rainbows, because in the 57th minute, Bruno Guimaraes completely bossed Kerkez, which I have no idea what he is doing there, dunking his head like that, and he scored to bring Newcastle back in the game. Then William Osula, a forgotten man in Newcastle squad, came up clutch as he got around Konate easily, who was having a poor game, and scored in the 88th minute to level up the tie 2-2 at home. It seemed like Liverpool were going to drop points, but just like in the game against Bournemouth, Liverpool took Nick A30's advice pretty seriously.
Never back down, never what?
Never give up.
Never back down, never what?
Never give up.
Never back down, never what?
Never give up.
Let's run! Let's go!
And the young
Rio
star boy,
Nagamboa,
Rio
bro.
YNWA,
This guy literally was sitting on the bench. I watched the game, bro. I told you I watched it. He was waiting to get subbed in for like 10 minutes. You know how you gotta wait for the ball to go out? The ball didn't go out, bro, for like 10 minutes straight. You know, and it was already like the 90th minute. So he got subbed in like the 97th minute. You know, he had like one take on before it. And then Liverpool has the nicest tiki-taka build-up play. And to finish it off, bro, Rio Nagamboa, the 16-year-old, he side foots it clean, bro, into the side netting to get the win for Liverpool, bro, in the 111th minute. Straight class, bro. This kid right here, bro, he's gonna reach for the stars, bro. This kid right here, bro, watch, bro, he's gonna ball out, bro, no cap.
who was 16 years old at the time, gets free in the box with Szoboszlai dummying very cleverly for him, and he finished it brilliantly to become the 4th youngest Premier League goal scorer of all time, and also secured all 3 points for the Reds in the 3 to win. Rio YNWA is going to be a household name in football. You heard it here first. Give Chelsea another $0 for this, because wow, this signing was incredible. And shout out to Rio for clutching up and helping us secure another 3 points for real. But like I said, the games come in thick and fast, because next up was an early title clash against Arsenal at Anfield, and this game was pretty dead, I'm not going to lie to you. I went to a Liverpool bar in New York to watch this game, and I was just standing there with no expression on my face. However, in the 83rd minute, Dominic Szoboszlai, the Steven Gerrard reincarnation, comes up clutch, because 30 yards out he has a free kick, and I'm thinking no way this guy is shooting from this range, and he does. But not only that, he bangs it into the top left corner to bring a late 1-0 lead to Liverpool.
Bro, the free kick by Szoboszlai, or Szoboszlai, how do you say his name, bro? That was like David Luiz-esque, bro, David Beckham-esque. Like 30 yards out, bro, inside the foot, curls it top left corner. Keeper had no chance at all to save it.
And helped us collect all 3 points once again in this 1-0 victory over the Gooners. That free kick was so good that it even left Rice speechless for real. I celebrated my butt off too at the bar when this went in. I was in complete shock. I never expected Szoboszlai to shoot from there, nevertheless scored. Regardless, with 3 games out of the way.
Bro, today, Derek Cornelius scored a goal like that for Canada, bro. Canada played Wales today, and Derek Cornelius, bro, the center back, he scored a goal just like Szoboszlai, bro. The free kick, left foot, like 25, 30 yards out, bro. He banged it in, bro. Go look it up, bro. Canada versus Wales.
Now, Liverpool are 3-0 and have collected all 9 points available. And sure, we haven't looked the best admittedly, but great teams find a way to win. And so far this season, it seems like we're always finding a way to win. Hence why I'm so confident about this season. Plus, with us adding Leone and Alexander Isak at the end of the window, I'm very confident that we're going to look even better than before. Unless I jinx it. I really hope this video doesn't do that. But anyways, what are your thoughts on Liverpool early on this season? Y'all think we can go win some silverware this season and maybe go back-to-back in the Prem? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please remember.
Anyways, what are your guys' thoughts this season? You think Liverpool are going to run it back, win the Premier League again, maybe win the Champions League? Your predictions down below in the comments. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe.